Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blood on the Bayou circuit event hosted by The Adventure Begins. I am Josh here with my co-caster Charles, and we are going into round number 5. Who do we have going into this round, Charles?
So it looks like we have a spicy one, very electrifying in fact, as we have Justin on Aurora versus Bird on Enigma. And this is going to be very interesting because we have seen many Battle Hardens callings, a lot of streams ending with the final game being this kind of matchup. And we have seen Enigma been able to take down the Aurora, and the Aurora able to take down the Enigma as well. So let's go ahead and see how this game plays out, because this is one of the more interesting matchups that we have in the meta at right now.
I'm really interested to see this build of Enigma. We've kind of seen the Enigma deck evolve from being this D-React deck that's just like trying to protect the one or two pieces of ward for as long as possible, to now this like really aggressive style. Even like Michael Fung putting in like Scar for Scars in a couple of instances, and the Phantasmaclasms coming in. It's such a dynamic, interesting deck to me to watch this evolution that's happened. And of course we have Aurora. Kind of some people may say the big baddie, dealing with taking down of a lot of events, 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 4, just really difficult to block out, and also able to have the combo package with Flicker Wisp. It is a very, very good deck as well.
Yeah, and I think that the Armory deck has helped her out a ton with trying to set up larger turns with the Skyward Serenade and the Skizzics. Just getting those free embodiments, the free tutor for attacks, their extra go-agains for your Arc Lightning turns, and they've just been very helpful in setting up larger, more impactful turns. That's helped Aurora stay at the top.
I think this is pretty interesting. We have the Phantasmal Footsteps here, able to help come in and cover up some of the 0 for 4s, and just with the easy one block there. Looks like Justin's gonna load up with the Crown, so maybe looking at the combo package.
Yeah, the Crown of Dominion giving the gold to Justin, as well as the Aether Ironweave going to be able to generate the resources to crack that gold should Justin find both the Arc Lightning and the Flicker Wisp this game.
And Bird immediately dropping the Manifestations of Miragai. No chi, just putting it out there with the 2 counters on. And
and I think they just wanted to set up a little bit of ward going into the turn as the Burn Up Shock comes in, just wanting to try to blow away that ward.
So Burn Up Shock coming in, and it looks like Bird did pitch to the AB, followed up by that new Skyward Serenade we were just talking about.
Going to grab the Skizzic from the deck, as well as make the embodiment of Lightning. That will give the Skizzic go again and an additional +1.
So here we go, starting off with the 0 for 4s. Burn Up Shock. Really, I've heard some Auroras talk about that they're not a super big fan of it, but it definitely makes your opponent say, hey, I need to figure out how you can't hit me this turn. You can't have this extra value, And the D-React coming out from Bird.
Yeah, it definitely forces your opponent to block if they don't want to take the on-hit. And generally, your opponent will just block the turn. It's, I think, a very good card if you're wanting to take tempo in a game, if maybe you're behind a little bit, just because your opponent is very postured to defend against the Burn-Up Shock itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. Just grabs tempo as much as you can. The Enlightened Strike coming down from Justin looks like it's going to be the draw card. Have an arsenal for the next turn. Bird holding the D-React and the CNC in hand very red heavy hand coming out of the Enigma. Not what you would expect.
And it's an interesting choice. Bird would have to commit the defense reaction with the Phantasmal Footsteps to protect the Mirror Guy, and if they do that, they wouldn't be able to swing the Mirror Guy, but it looks like it was the defense reaction in Arsenal instead.
The inefficient blocks coming in, making things awkward on the Aurora side, but able to preserve the manifestations of Mirror Guy. Not going to swing it, just going to use it, just keep it for the defense, set up for a later turn.
And Justin, able to set up the Embodiment of Lightning going into his next turn as well, is going to help him go very wide, try to push through the little bit of ward that Bird has developed at this point in time.
So this combo package that the Aurora is running is a Flicker Wisp, and Flicker Wisp kind of pumping every single arcane that's coming through. So now you have to have AB2 to kind of deal with it. Can be very, very potent. The gold give and go again, the grass give and go again, the chest give and go again. So much go again pings from the arc lightning that you play with the Flicker Wisp. It can be a very, very difficult thing to deal with. And right now he's going to be Justin is going to be coming out with the Gone and Flash. Is this a blue Sink Below?
I think it is Bird playing Preserve Tradition with Homage to Ancestors.
Oh yeah,
going
right.
to Transcend twice.
I got really excited. I was hoping to see the blue Sink Below. I think that's the
Blue Sink Below, a tech piece that has been seen or was played in earlier builds of Enigma as a way to help transcend on turns while also getting some value. I don't think it's very much played anymore.
I think that's, again, going back to the iterations of the Enigma. I think it's definitely kind of, we're more on the aggressive side, not needing to be dereact.deck. But now Justin knowing really early on in this turn that there are 2 cheat in hand. Can he just push through? Can he just start pushing and try and get this manifestations off the board?
It looks like the Electrostatic Discharge is going to bounce that Gone in a Flash back to the hand. Justin deciding how he wants to play the rest of his turn out.
So probably going to come in for 7, right?
He has still 3 cards left. Ooh, it's another Skyward Serenade. Going to go ahead, grab the Skizzik again, make another embodiment. Continue making this.
Continuing the 0 for 4 chain.
Even wider.
So yeah, he'll come in for another 7 go again with 2 cards left in hand. Definitely looking like it's going to be tough to keep the manifestations around. Truce coming out to block with the D-React. That's now 2 Sink Belows already. So now Justin knows that there are just 2 chi left in hand. Or no, he doesn't know that. I apologize. He doesn't know that because one of them could have been sank away from Sink Below. My bad. Justin trying to figure out how to push further. Can he push further onto this turn?
I think at this point Bird just has to give up the manifestations to that Starfall.
Gone and Flash getting pitched to send in the sword for 2.
Yeah, and they're just going to let that Mirror Guy take it. Bird has a very good turn very good play on the next turn. They can use the Chi to activate Enigma. They can also use the Tunic counter to play the Miraging Metamorph as well, should they decide to just take the 4 here.
Snatch coming in, though, asking the question, are you going to let me in on an Arsenal?
Bird can technically defend with the 3 block and pitch the Chi to Enigma if they want to.
It's a tough call here. But we are still at 40-40. Or still, I mean, nobody's taking any damage here. So Bird trying to decide what kind of value they want to give at the end of this turn. And
it looks like they were taking the 4 going to give Justin the draw here and the arsenal.
How many bad arsenal targets does an Aurora have?
Not many.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and still try push the 7 off the tunic.
Yeah, it's interesting that Bird didn't want to activate Enigma first and swing the Spectral Shield.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. So they're going to arsenal it for the next turn? Seems... No, you can't do that.
Unless they were able to sink second Chi.
Maybe we missed that. Lightning Press is getting pitched here for the sword.
Sword is only coming in for 1. What cheeky plays shall Justin do here?
It's only 1, Charles. It's only 1. You know? It's never more than 1. So we'll see if they're having a laugh about it. Bird saying, just 1, huh?
There could be any number of cards here to give it +1 and go again, and the Channel Lightning Valley is a very good one. The Restless Coalescence being played just to soak up the 2 damage at this point.
So with that, now there's not been a draw for the Channel Lightning Valley, so it hasn't been able to replace itself. So Justin now, with 2 cards in hand and 1 in arsenal, is trying to push through and get the draw off of Channel Lightning Valley.
It's going to be the Electrostatic Discharge into another Snatch at this point.
Snatch coming in for 7. And if Bird does allow the draw, it's just, I guess there is Snapdragons. So putting down the hand.
3 cards committed to shore this up. 1 Flow Channel on the channel, the arsenal, and the pass.
The way it's kind of been described to me is the first time Channel Lightning Valley comes out, it's just replacing itself on the draw, right? It's the second turn or the third turn that it's around that you're really getting the value, or you really get an extra card in hand from it.
Yeah, and it looks like Justin was able to arsenal that Lightning Surge, so it's going to be the first 4 go again of the turn, threatening that Channel Lightning Valley on hit trigger.
This is where Aurora gets really scary, as you don't know how many 0 for 4s are going to come out at you, and then there is, any of them hit, there's a draw. Again, but Bird with the D-React here, the Shelter the Storm, covering that up pretty easily. 1 for 1 on the cards.
Now, one thing to note in the matchup, since Justin has brought in the Aether Ironweave over the Tunic, making the swing with the Starfall become slightly more difficult, since now you'll actually have to pitch a card to it, meaning that if you don't have a blue for the turn, you're most likely not swinging the Starfall at that point. And that could be a detriment or an upside, considering on how the payoff of the Aether Ironweave can give you.
But using the electromagnetic somersault to bounce it back, and then use that to pitch for the Starfall. So, kind of making use of a card that may kind of be dead because it doesn't have go again, and getting the draw from the Starfall hitting. So now Justin has to try and piece together the rest of this turn.
Yeah, could be that Justin did not find another source of go again off of the Channel Lightning Valley draw. You definitely do not want to just swing a 0 for 4 arsenal and then IP1 yourself.
I see a Flicker Wisp in hand. So going to put down the E-Strike. Maybe. Trying to decide what Justin's going to do with the E-Strike here. He does have the Flicker Wisp in hand. One of the parts of the combo that he needs. Oh, he has 3 cards in hand. So that is 5 draw card.
He could be looking to fish for a blue to activate Aurora with, or just use 2 of the reds. He might be looking to also see what the texture of his hand could be to use the Snapdragon Scalers for this turn. Pitching the 2 reds at this point will also give him a potential second lightning card to keep that channel out for an additional turn, and that looks like it's what it's going to be. The lightning surge and the flittering charge going to go ahead and keep the channel an additional turn, as well as making the lightning token for the next turn.
I think it's really the best he could do, not getting enough go again, but still able to keep the channel Lightning Valley around. It seems like the best play to do with kind of an anemic turn there. And here we're going to see the Phantasmaclasm come in. So I guess Bird getting to look at the hand and decide what gets put to the bottom. Phantasmaclasm, crazy card. Such good rate.
Yeah, and the hand is Entwine Lightning, Snatch, and the CLV. Bird deciding to take the only lightning card in the hand. Hoping that Justin does not draw another lightning card. I can't quite see what it is.
Yeah, if he doesn't draw another lightning card, he's really bricked up, isn't he?
He does have the Embodiment of Lightning, but that is about it in that case.
Taking 9 feels like Justin has something there, right? I feel like he drew the lightning card if he's just going to take 9 and not try and preserve a little bit of life. But he also has
that, and you have 3 0-for-4 go-agains with the on-hit of drawing a card at this point in time, so you definitely want to just apply as much pressure, and it looks like it's the Flittering Charge was the draw.
So he definitely... So Justin did rip the lightning card off the top. Bird having the Fate Foreseen to cover up the Snatch. Bird here trying to figure out what she's going to do to prevent this draw, if she can prevent this draw, knowing that there is at least 2 more 0-for-4s coming, not knowing what's in the arsenal. Phantasmaclasm does such work here, giving you so much information about the next turn coming up too.
Yeah, and Justin just going 0-for-4 into 0-for-4 into 0-for-4 into 0-for-4 for this turn, showing no signs of slowing down.
Just showing the real potency of Aurora, being able to put together, 4 chain links, 16 damage. So crazy. Again, coming up with another 0-for-4. Aurora, lightning fast, lightning speed, going crazy.
And Bird just willing to take it. There's no way you can block this much damage with the cards in hand, so Bird just waiting. Bird just waiting for a good opportunity to play out some well-timed defense reactions.
Trying to see if Justin's going to swing the sword to get some value out of that all you got. Be able to draw off of it at least. Another 4 no-go again right now.
No, it looks like that all you got is committed to the block here. And it's going to be the Embodiment of Lightning being made at the end of this turn. CLV will disappear.
Putting another CLV back in the deck just for a rainy day. But the deck does get shuffled twice. Well, it can get shuffled one more time now with another Skyward Serenade.
And it's the Phantasmaclasm yet again. Revealing the Flicker Wisp, Magnetic Somersault, E-Strike.
That is...
And a new card from the Aurora Armory deck.
So that's the second Flicker Wisp. Since we know Justin has one in Arsenal.
Yeah, so Bird could be looking at this hand, thinking that the Flicker Wisp is the most potent card here because they have not seen one yet. And it looks like that is what they will choose in this case.
Yeah,
not knowing that the Flicker Wisp is tucked in Arsenal right now.
That's right. The redundancy is already there. At the end of the day, 2-card 9 with all the information about what's to come. This card's so good in this deck. Loving the Phantasm just coming in, striking at their opponent, not knowing it is nothing but phantoms.
And this goes to show how the Enigma deck has adapted. How this is not just a defensive deck that wants to sit on 1 or 2 ward pieces. This is a deck that is willingly attacking its opponent. Justin having to decide, do I want to take 9 yet again, falling to 15, or will I block? And it looks like it'll be 6 block with the Somersault in this case.
The 0 for 6 D-React, pretty good. Somersault able to pop back the 2 cards, essentially acting like a 0 for 6 D-React. It's a pretty insane card.
And Bird drew a Manifestations of Mirror Guy. We know there are 2 Chi in the deck, and the Traverse of the Universe is active. So we are most likely going to see that being blocked with on this turn.
It feels like a good time for Bird to do something like this. With the Manifestations, we're kind of in the mid-game here. Really start to try and push the advantage. Especially knowing that Justin just blocked out most of his hand. And there is 0 for 4 coming in. Could pop it back and just throw another 0 for 4 and in the turn.
So this is interesting that Justin decided to not use the Enlightened Strike with the Go Again to draw card. Instead, using the Gone in a Flash with the Go Again, knowing full well that there's not an instant in the hand. As that Written in the Stars is indeed an action.
Bird just going to take 1, block 3 here. And Justin opting to send the big, tall, Enlightened Strike for 7. Bird, knowing that this is the end of the turn, pushes forward the Traverse Universe, goes and finds the Chi. So sitting across the table, Justin is thinking, Manifestations is coming out to play.
Yeah, and we haven't seen an Arc Lightning yet from Justin. So that Flicker Wisp has just been sitting there turn after turn after turn, waiting for that Arc Lightning to show up when he can just absolutely turn the tide of the game. And he might have to take some bad beats on this turn. That Manifestations of Mirror Guy is not going to play around.
Here it comes. I know that if I was sitting in Justin's spot, I'm really hoping I picked up an Arc Lightning here to try and get this off the board. Regardless, he's probably just gonna take. It's 8, right?
Yep, a whole 8 damage, and that's not what you want to see. Because all Bird has to do is protect this Manifestations for 1 or 2 more turns before it extracts its full value to the point where Justin has no way of coming back.
And this is what you got to do in this spot. You got to take the damage and just send back as much as possible. Oh wow, this card has been proven to be so good. I can't remember the name of it. Essence of Ancestral Body is so crazy in this, in that it just basically takes 1 red card from the Aurora and just blanks. It says, nah, you can't do anything because I'm just going to prevent this damage. It's essentially another 4 block.
So one thing to note is that this effect only activates if it is the only aura left. So this Manifestations will have to leave play. I believe Bird is just playing this out as a Ward 2 to help protect themselves. Oh, and it's the Arc Lightning on this turn.
He found it.
Justin has found it. This is going to be the big one.
Waiting for the 1 to come across. Don't you normally start with...
Oh, it's the double arc lightning?
I thought you'd normally start with Flicker Wisp, right? On this combo?
So it depends. The Flicker Wisp second does more damage. The Flicker Wisp first and the Arc Lightning second is if you don't have enough go again for the turn, since the Flicker Wisp will take up the go again that the Arc Lightning provides.
Ah, there you go. Okay. So this is... I'm really bad with these replacement effects. Is this
so every
arcane?
time... Yes, so every time he goes again, he will deal 4 arcane damage, and that Flicker Wisp will deal 2 additional when it is played. So the Starfall is for the most powerful Rosetta Thorn you could ever imagine. For 2 physical, 2 arcane, 2 arcane. We have not seen an attack action yet. Oh, and it's just the Arsenal.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there was no attack to be played on that turn to get the Aether Ironweave unlocked and the gold drawn to extend the turn, so it is just going to be the Miraging Metamorph. And it looks like we have a Judge Call. Justin looking like he might have drawn 5 cards in this case.
Alright, so we'll just let the Judge Call resolve.
The judge is going to decide how to rule. Typically, the hand is revealed and the opponent gets to choose a card from the hand to go on the top or the bottom of the deck. So Bird just gets free access to this information and gets to choose the best card in the situation to put on the top or bottom at this point.
Just Phantasmaclasm without the damage.
And it looks like Justin drew both the Skyward Serenade and the Skizzik. So Bird could choose to put the Skyward Serenade on the bottom, making the Skizzik so much worse if they so choose.
Scar for Scar and a Ravenous Rabble as well. So a lot of the non-elemental cards coming out here. Scar for Scar is online. And that's what Bird chooses to take.
And it looks like that might not have been a Skizzik. I believe that was a Static Shock instead at this point.
Alright, so with the Miraging Metamorph coming out, I'm going to just put 3 in front of it. The Aether Ironweave in the Grasp. Taking 4, down to 9. Here we go.
These life totals are starting to get very low as both heroes are creeping ever so closer to this end game here.
Well, we've seen a lot of power pieces already put out. The Traverse has been pushed forward, so you're going to have to find the Chi naturally if you want another manifestations. We've seen 2 Arc Lightnings, 1 Flicker Wisp, and 1 Flicker Wisp could put at the bottom. Skyward Serenade, though.
On the other side, we've also seen 2 manifestations of Mirror Guy off of Bird, 1 at the very beginning of the game and 1 off of the Traverse. So that play pattern is not easily available to them at this point in time. But Enigma is not one to just sit behind their ward. Enigma is definitely going to have a chance to go on the offensive if they so choose.
So the Skizzik's coming out here, 0 for 4, as we've said 100 times, starting off this combat chain.
Faeforeseen going to cover this up.
Okay, I lost track of what happened there.
Chain is going to be broken. So the Skizzix was played, the Faeforeseen was covered up, the chain was broken. Justin looking like he might activate Grasp. Believe there was a Written into the Stars in the hand. Blue, which to use. No, it's going to be the Aether Ironweave.
Getting the gold.
Into the gold.
Justin kind of looking at this and being like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to combo you life totals are too close. I'm going to have to hold too many cards. So he's going to send the Ravenous Rabble, showing a Lightning Press. How do you feel about this? Like, revealing the Lightning Press, do you feel like this is good, bad, neutral?
I mean, both players having access to that information is good in their respective ways. You know, Justin knowing that he will have the Lightning Press for next turn is good, but Bird also knowing that there will be a Lightning Press on the next turn should they block incorrectly makes both players have to think about the next turn specifically.
But how heavily can you play around it at these life totals, you know? That's what I'm thinking.
But I think Enigma is the best one at playing around this, right? You have the defense reactions, you have the ward, you can play the most flexibly out of probably any other deck at this point. And it's a Lightning Press from Arsenal.
Another Lightning Press. There it is. I mean, we hadn't seen them all game, and they're going to start coming up now. And CNC is the return. Five playing 9.
I believe Justin drew at least 2 no blocks.
I mean, Bird knows there's a Lightning Press in there.
Yep, Justin taking the 6. Ooh, is the last Arc Lightning getting discarded at this point in time.
No ward on board. Exude confidence. So good. Stopping the D-reacts, possibly. But it looks like Bird has the attack reaction that they need to turn it on. Still being able to Lightning Press to push it over the top. Taking?
So this is interesting. Does Justin play this during the blocking step, this Lightning Press, to deny the Shelter from the Storm being used in the reaction step? And that looks like what it's going to be used for, as the Shelter from the Storm is just being discarded for the Prevent 1 3 times. And this is actually a very good play on Justin's side, going to deny any extra value that Bird wants to get off the turn.
It is an instant. Lightning Press is a very good card here. Putting out the boots to cover it up with the floating from the Shelter of the Storm. And then another block 3.
Yep.
And with the
that Shelter able to get the maximum value in that case. Even though Bird could not use it for its defensive properties, the instant ability still got enough value for the turn.
That's right, not getting punished for it still. Very, very good play. Very heads-up play there. Scar for Scar. With the embodiment of lightning.
And the sink below coming out.
That is definitely all 3 sinks. Rabble coming in for 4. Exude confidence on top. Bird lining up the blocks. Taking 1. Going down to 1. Another Rabble. Coming in for 4. Able to cover
Bird
it up.
having to pitch. Ooh, and it's a Sonic Shock to follow it up. 0 for 4 into 0 for 4 into 0 for 4 into 0 for 4 was just a little too much for Bird to handle at this point in time.
Yeah, Justin able to get there on Aurora. What a good, tight, close match. Like you said, these are 2 titans of the format. Enigma and Aurora battling it out over and over again. This time Aurora coming out on top. It was a joy to watch. Thank you very much for joining us for round 5. Hope to see you soon. And the top 8.